onto the side, and then he was like, "Hey, this is the dude I said I called Tumbleweed in the show, Tumbleweed." And I was like, "Yeah, he called me Tumbleweed." But I thought he was hyping it because he remembered who I was. It was because he was so happy over his joke.
Right. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Inside the Box with CJT Creations. We have another great guest, another illustrious guest on the show this week. Is my friend, my best friend, my brother, Tim Gordon. What's up, man? How you doing?
How's it going, Charles? How's it going so far?
Yeah, pretty good week. We finishing strong. We're getting these interviews in. We're getting work in, so can't complain.
Hey, intro. What was that word you said? Elasticity?
Illustrious?
Let me Google that one in a minute. I'm going to write that down for notes later.
Yeah, I break out the big words for the big guests. See what I did there?
Do you go online before and then check out which words you're going to use, or you just straight TI, just pull a dictionary out in the middle of interview?
I just off the dome, man. Freestyle rapper. I'm off the dome.
I want to be like you when I grow up.
So, for a lot of people who don't know you, kind of give everyone, I guess, the background of you, Tim Gordon. So, what has been your upbringings and your background?
Born and raised Charleston, South Carolina, 843, Chucktown. Okay. Moved up to Maryland, 2010. Started studying communications, and that's whenever I bumped into you. And from then on, we had an idea of starting a film club at the local college, the community college. And after that, we've just been freelancing since then and trying to make a dent in this industry.
Yeah, that's true. So what was it like growing up in Charleston for you? Did you have early, I guess, interest in film, or did you just kind of want to, you were still trying to figure it out?
Best way I could think about it is it's like my mom, whenever we were younger, mom, single parent, raising 4 heads. Let me make sure because I always leave one out. About 5 heads. And then so when it came to taking us out for fun activities and stuff like that, she got more creative. She always find movies and stuff. And so Thursday or Friday night was just movie night with moms type deal. And she'd find some movies that I would never think to grab at the most, we find the most off-brand places. This was we wouldn't go to Blockbuster at first. You had to step your game up to be able to afford Blockbuster movies. Yeah. So we went to National Home Video and places like that, little hole in the wall. And she'd go off into a little corner, find all these B movies. And I was like, I'm not going to watch this. But they were actually pretty legit.
Yeah.
So then it was funny, without really consciously thinking about it or whatever like that. From then on, I've just been a huge fan of movies. Just I can quote movies better than I can study assignments. And the same goes for lyrics. And it's just so I'd have to say, even whenever I was young after that, I just would record videos and stuff like that, VHS type style. Mm-hmm. Music videos, MTV, VH1, BET, just recording all the songs and stuff, making my own playlist with VHS. So, unconsciously, I've kind of really dabbled in the industry a lot as far as that, if you want to look at that as editing or whatever like that. But from then on, just community college helped me really figure out what direction I wanted to go with communications.
Yeah. I think what it sounds like is you definitely had kind of that early interest. You were able to pump in movies. You was able to kind of just watch this so much, and kind of that creativity kind of just started building at a young age, where your mom did it, really cool to kind of really igniting that feel for you, what you want to do today. When would you say it kind of clicked, or that you really wanted to do film? You wanted to try making it or try anything in the entertainment business?
Excuse me. I'd say around like let's say 2013, 2014 maybe is just like whenever I knew like I wanted to be in the industry. I would randomly like write funny lines down and stuff like that even earlier than that. And like in like for purposes to being able to like make a script one day and use these lines. But then whenever I went to Baltimore Power Plant Live, it was like a comedy festival, comedy thing we went to, and went to see Sean and Marlon Wayans. And so before that, it was like that's whenever Twitter was starting to get real big. So I mean, I reached out to Marlon on Twitter, and he reached back out to me and stuff like I was basically saying some cheesy stuff like I'm gonna go see your show, been a huge fan since blah 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 blah, and I want to be a screenwriter, blah 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 blah. And then so I was like, do you got any recommendations? And then he like sent me like books, like he like messaged me back talking about which books I needed to get, and he was just like, keep writing because if you want to be a producer, a creator, like you have to write. When you stop writing, the money stops coming in. And I was just like, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's definitely strong quote.
I went to see them at the show. I got hyped, and then I was like, hey, remember me? I was talking to you on Twitter. And then so like he kind of like gave me the nod. So like me as a fan, I like to think he knew what I was talking about. He knew who I was. And so once we got to the show, we sat front row, and you always, anytime you go to like a comedy show and you sit up front, you're a victim because you're going to be part of that joke. I had my afro at the time, and so he was like cracking a joke. He was just like, he's like, I guess some light skinned folks is out of style and Trey Songz lookalikes and blah 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 going on. Then he like stopped and looked at me up front, and he was just like, never mind. We got somebody up here. We got the light-skinned brother up here and stuff. He's just like, somebody gave man some moisturizer, hair looking like tumbleweed. And I was just like most people would get mad. I was like, he gave me a nickname. This man called me Tumbleweed. We good. And so like after the show, like he pulled Sean to the side, and then he was like, hey, this is the dude I said I called Tumbleweed in the show, Tumbleweed. And I was like, yeah, he called me Tumbleweed. But I thought he was hyping it because you remember who I was. It was because he was so happy over his joke. Right. That was just, well, it was fun stuff. It was fun stuff.
That's cool. Yeah, definitely. I remember us first meeting, I guess it was 2014 at the Community College of Southern Maryland. We both kind of started, and I guess you could say we have the same beginnings, you can say, for us both taking filmmaking seriously. The 1010 class in, was it DMP 1010 with Alan Lifton. What was that? I guess, what do you remember as that being kind of like, I guess, what do you remember from the beginning classes that really like, all right, I'm ready to do this, or, oh man, this is crazy?
I'd say just like those simple projects that they had us doing, like make a scene without any audio. So like relay like the mood of it or whatever. Things like that I thought was cool. And then it got to the point to where like after like our second and third project, I just wanted to like shoot past that. I was like, all right, so what else we got? What else can we do? And I was just like trying to push away from college at that point in time because I thought I was ready to dive out into the industry and figure it out. But definitely want to stick around with college a little longer.
Yeah. It was, I think CSN was a good like first step of kind of just getting your feet wet. You know, it's not that like, of course, what you learn, like, it's not it's not going to give you everything you need to go, let's do this, but it gives you the tools and the, you know, the mental makeup to really kind of to know if you got it, because, you know, you have to kind of go out there a little bit yourself and, you know, take risk and to learn, but you have to be willing to learn. You know, I'm not going to tell you everything. It's like, oh, as you do this with experience, you learn, oh, okay, maybe I need to keep it going, keep it moving.
And with that, you definitely like felt like what you were talking about, like if you're interested in it or not. And like I've always felt like since those classes, like I want to learn more. I want to be able to like, I have the creative like flow to be able to like try and like do stuff like this. So where like when you do something like take econ class or marketing class, you know real quick if you really want to do it or not.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. Like, I know for me, that was like because just like you, it was my first filmmaking class, so it was kind of like I wanted to, like, you would try it out, say, oh, well, let's see what this is all about, and then you kind of really like, oh wow, this is really fun, this is awesome, and like I really want to do it. You kind of get that burning desire, that passion to keep going, and then you have to be the person to ignite the fuel to like push it further. Like we can help you, but it's like no one's gonna take charge of your career, besides yourself.
And we give you the basic steps, and you got to run with and buy this expensive ass equipment.
So what would you say was one of your favorite moments from early on? I guess let's say 2014 to 2015 moment of like making something. What was your favorite project from early on?
Bro, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I can't even really remember 2014, 15.
Okay.
That time seems like a blur, but like more recently, like before we finished out with like community college, we did like a match, short film called Matched, and it was basically about this comic dude, this dude all in the comics and like the whole like comic conventions and stuff like that, and he was like interested in a girl and didn't know how to approach her and stuff like that. So it was something like in one of our classes, everybody came together and wrote the best screenplay that they could write. Yeah, best script that they could write. And we all chose between 5 of them whose we wanted to go with and created a short film for. So it was matched. And I was like I worked audio for that project. I give like hands down, I give all the respect and everything to like the audio guy. Like you can't crap on that guy's job. Like his job is heavy, legit. Like the boom mic, like the whole time, the boom mic and pole, and then looking down at the mixer and trying to adjust the levels and stuff like that, and be set, and then still holding your arms up, and like you got like the guy yelling out, "All right, we want to redo that shot," and I was just like, "Mm-mm." All right, well, I'm gonna cut the mic right now. We'll just play that back on this new side.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I've had experience doing that, and it's not fun. You definitely need good shoulders, good technique in general, just to hold it. Because I find myself hand slipping and trying to get these awkward angles. So like you're trying to be up like here and stuff like that. And
I was doing the number right here, and then you trying to like rest your shoulders and like kind of just like tilt it to where it's just enough in the like just out of the frame, but not touching the person's forehead. But a couple of times I rested it on the actor's forehead, but it's all good. Just crop that out.
Right. So now that let's kind of fast forward a little bit. When was the decision for you to kind of really, I guess, start Tag Film, and tell us what made you want to do it?
Jeez. Just getting more exposure, like actually looking around to like more people in the field and like what they do, and it just like started to add on to like you start seeing like so much content to where you're like, I could do that, or it's not even necessarily I can do that, because you can have a whole bunch of copycats or whatever. It's almost like, and not trying to like sound cocky or whatever like that, but it was like I can do better than that, because I feel like I can create more. I can go to the next step with it, not just mimic what this person did. And so that was just like something that like made me hyped to want to create more and more content. And from then on, like Tagged Film, like whenever me and you was playing around with the what was it, the club name at CSM?
Yeah.
When we played around and like threw around ideas for names as far as that goes, I basically did the same thing with Tagged Film. Threw my initials on there, Timothy Gordon, and then film production. And then I asked for equipment for like the next 6 Christmases. Anyways, I asked Christmas High. So I asked for like nothing but gear for the next 6 Christmas, and like that's where I invested all my stuff in. Got the camera, first camera, tripod, basically all the stuff I needed to get started. From there, the gear gets outdated real quick, so you learn real quick that you're eventually going to have to put money towards some stuff. And so, like you said, like you were asking, like that basically just like balled up and kept me wanting to like study more and more and learn more and get better at my craft.
That's cool. So yeah, so tagged is Timothy Antoine Gordon.
Yep.
Which is really cool. It's a kind of already built in, tagline. You see what I did there? Pun intended. So that kind of gave you, the I guess, the oil to keep it going, to, get the engine going. So what, I guess, do you want to be your specialty, or what do you want tag film to kind of represent? Or at least as of today.
I'm glad you asked that, because the other thing I was like, it's only going to come with like practicing and like more experience. But as of today, just like tagged film is my initial. So like whenever you sign off on something, a lot of people only sign off on something if they're confident with it, if that's like something that they want to represent them. And that's what I feel like with my content. I want to make sure like whenever I'm signing my name on it, like it's something that you're going to like and I'm going to enjoy watching too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like right now, like building from that, keeping that in mind as I move forward and get better at what I do.
Awesome. So for tagged film, what has been, I guess, one of your favorite projects that you've worked on as of today?
Spin with David. He's a spin instructor at LA Fitness, and he's done photography, great photographer actually, and he's switched over and wanted to start doing like spin. So once he did that, he reached out to me because he knew I did video, and he was just like, "Hey, I want to do a promo video. I'm gonna have my whole team all hyped up whenever you come through, but they're always hyped. So all you have to do is come through and aim the camera and get some good footage." And granted, this is going to be different for every client, and I understand that. But it was a great feeling, like whenever he knew from being a photographer how tough the back end is, like post production and just like putting the content together and stuff. So he was just like, "You have full control of this." He's like, "I don't want to tell you to do anything. Like, I just want you to get some good footage." And so with that, I think we're like 3-4 projects in with David. So we're like, he just kept calling us back to do more projects with him and stuff. And that has to have been like the best project so far.
Yeah. So as being like, I guess do you consider yourself a freelance company?
I wouldn't get freelance company just yet.
Okay.
I'm still learning ropes and everything.
I got you. So you have done freelance work that you've done. What is it like, kind of like finding clients and working with clients? What has your experience been?
I'm a great people person. So it's just like, as far as just like finding people who want work done or whatever, all I gotta do is strike up conversation with them, and majority of the time, 9 times out of 10, we're going to try and put a project together, because I don't know the right words for it, but it's like that just like energy when you have like a creator and then like someone else that wants to create something, and then you guys start tossing ideas. So and then you put projects together from there. It's really easy for me to like rack up stuff with like clients. A lot of like the people that end up helping me with like production, they'll let me go ahead and talk to the clients and stuff, because I don't know, I guess I'm a likable guy.
Yeah, I think us being friends for so long, like just hearing like how you go from just talking to someone individually, just about, hey, I work here, and we're just talking, and then you can steer the conversation all the way into, oh, my cousin has a person who does it. Like, you find some way somehow and get something out of the conversation. I think that's like, that's really awesome. Like, having that people skills, because that's a trait that is really hard. Actually, it's like, you think it's like, oh, that's a common thing, but like, there's a lot of people who don't really have that people skill, that be able to just really talk to people and keep people comfortable.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's just like, and it's like funny, because with my production crew, they know how to help me shut up too, like real quick, because like you said, I'll be good with like starting conversations and segues and stuff like that, but I'm not going to stop unless somebody tells me to. That's the funny part.
Yeah, I get that for sure. But that's also, I think that's definitely a huge, component in getting business. You have to be that kind of that salesperson, selling yourself, selling the company to be able to get potential new clients, and stuff like that. So I think that's huge. I think you definitely have a huge trait, for what you're doing.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's definitely I don't know who I get that from, my mom or my dad. Hey, you know met Pops. He's a whole nother ball game.
Oh yeah, he's a wild man. So, kind of transitioning a little bit. Being a filmmaker, and most people have kind of like who they are inspired by, and what inspires you when you make stuff, or what just inspires you in general.
Everyday life. That sounds tacky, but to be honest with you, like going through my day and just like it's like so many different reasons in the day for you to like have a bad day or label it a bad day and be sad, depressed, down from it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But with every interaction I have throughout the day, even if it's like negative reactions, in my head I play it back as like something funny. Like, how could this event have been something funny? Like, what could my takeaway from this have been? Flipped into funny type deal. And so I understand like not everyone can do that, but like that's how like I keep myself sane throughout the day and all. And then at the end of the day, that's like, man, what did I think about earlier today that was like funny? And then I'll write that down in the journal and stuff for like future projects.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Do you find it I guess difficult to try to keep the journal close, or to keep that idea so you can get it to the journal?
Oh man, you talking about as far as like, do I forget them?
Yeah, because I feel like you have like a lot of ideas all the time, where it's like you try to get them all down.
I just say I don't have one specific journal. I'll say that.
Okay.
It's like no matter where I'm at, I'm gonna find something and turn it into a journal. And with that said, there's a lot of content floating around that I may never get to use because I left it somewhere. At work, if like I'll have like a stack of sticky notes this high of like different ideas and stuff like that, different funny things, and then I'll stash it away somewhere and forget all about it. And then there's other times where I'm so stuck on one part of a funny day that I don't even tell you the whole day. And then by the time I go back to read the journal, I'm like, I don't even know what I wrote. It's like all foreign to where I was like, I can't use this.
Yeah, I get that. I can't read some of my own handwriting sometimes. Like when I'm like writing down something real quick, and then I'm like, all right, read it back. I'm like, I try to like put myself back in that situation, but like I don't understand what the heck I wrote.
Like it's not even necessarily like the handwriting. It's just like the words. It's just like, yo, fish, ha ha ha. You saw that fish, ha ha ha. The there, and I'm just like, what was I on?
Yeah. What was the energy that I had earlier today? That
exactly. We find that Red Bull again.
Dang, that's pretty cool. So, I guess you are a family man now. You are a married guy. Had your first child. What has that been like for you? This is all over the past year or so, year and a half now.
Yeah, Jack says we in. Let me make sure, because you about to document me. What month are we in?
Right now it's August.
So he's 8 months. Okay, he's 8 months, and it's been. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's been a challenge, especially from like the first night. Whenever like he came home, before the first night, before he even got home, because you just have a baby. And the doctors just hand baby to you and like, good luck. so I'm like, all right. And so just like the last night at the hospital and stuff was just like him in his little bed or whatever, and he was like having like, it looked like he was having breathing issues, breathing problems, but the doctor was like, no, that's normal, and I'm like, all right, cool. He's like, call us if you need us. As soon as they left the room, I called them back because it didn't sound normal, but it was crazy, man. And just like from there and just like watching little Jax like grow from that on more to where like now he's like crawling all over the house, crawling on top of stuff, looking at me. And I say, you love daddy? And he says, ah. I'm like, 17 years, hey, for 4 months. Yeah, so it's definitely fun. And then like with Adele and I, like the first, I'd like to say the first 2 weeks were like the toughest because it's just like whenever he's laying in the bed late at night and then like he sounds like he stops breathing and both of us jump up and like we're like zombies. It's like we're like standing all next to his crib, like just looking at each other like, like a whole nother language. You learn a whole nother language too. Like she's looking at me going, and I'm going at her like, but we knew what we meant.
Right. You got that married with the kid language, that whole situation kind of going.
That delirious, I ain't had no sleep in a minute kind of thing. But it definitely got better, and it was just like, it gets better. It gets better with time or whatever.
Right.
It's just exciting. It's just like one of those things to where you definitely have to have patience because it's like there's time where he'll like snatch your face or snatch your hair, snatch like the smallest piece of hair on your arm, and you just want to look at him and just like scream because it hurts. You got to be like, he's just a little man. He's just this big, so you got to chill out. Just have patience. So I'll start breathing and stuff till I pass out.
But, yeah, so what would you say? What would you say has been the biggest change or things that you've grown in this past year? Was it patience, or what else would you just say?
Ooh, that's a good one. I like to say patience, and I guess the other thing could fall under patience also. Is it's just like you kind of want to just like continue on. Like, all right, I'm a dad, but then I want to keep going back to like when I became a dad, to where I was just like, this is what he started from, and this is where he's at right now, and it's just like from that, like I don't know how to explain it. It's just like you get this like feeling to where like whenever you hear about dads being like protective dads and everything like that for like their kids and stuff, you don't really understand it. You're like, all right, well, I'll probably protect my kid until they say something slick to me. But it's just like, for me, it's just like, it's like a shield that you get on, this little daddy shield and stuff. And so you just like sitting here and just like anything that happens to your son or daughter or whatnot, you get like this like quick like reaction to where you're like, what happened? And you want to ask 21 questions and stuff like that. You need to get to the bottom of it because you need to know if you can just swing your hand or not for somebody that touched your kid. So it's definitely I've patience, and I don't know, you have a whole new life. You have a whole new like living being right next to you to where you can't like one of the biggest things was like watching my other friends that had kids. I was just like, oh, they missing out on a lot. They don't get to go out. They don't get to do this. They don't get to do that. But no, it's all a different feeling you get because now you get to go to bed at 9:30, which is a reasonable hour. 12 o'clock in the morning, then 5 o'clock in the morning. But I mean, it's great.
Yeah, that's a good spin to put on it for sure.
Definitely.
Sweet. So yeah, man. So kind of moving back into tagged film, has there been any? I guess a good question. How's business going? Is there any upcoming projects you're excited about? Or recently done?
Business isn't popping yet. Still in college, so just trying to like keep that to like whenever I get out of college and I can focus on like all the legal stuff to being able to actually copyright everything. So like now doing like a couple of projects to where I can build my portfolio up, so at least I can get people to look my direction.
Right.
And since the macaroni happened, had plenty of time to be able to be creative. this is the best time for anybody to be creative. Artists, videographers, photographers. It's like you quarantine.
Oh yeah, definitely. You got a lot of time to think, write, a lot of stuff. It forces you to really.
Point blank. And it's just like people want to like if you push that opportunity away, you're just killing that opportunity. Because wasn't that what Walt Disney did with his artists and stuff like that? He locked them in a room so they got creative with some of his work.
Yeah. That's a little.
All right, we'll Google that one before we stamp.
Yeah, that's a little extreme right there on that end.
I don't know. I think there was a lot of drugs and a lot of locked in rooms and stuff. But again, we'll check Google before we confirm that. We're not confirming any of that.
So I see you got the tag film share. Well, if you're watching this, the video wise, he's of course you got to support your brand. That it looks pretty comfy. What's that say on the arm?
Hey, Blueprint Tees is the guy who puts my shirts together, and Jarmel definitely does a great job with it because like I've done washed this thing like 10, 15 times. You don't have the letters stretching. You don't have anything tight on you and stuff because that's my issue is it's like they'll start right here, and then once you wash them a couple times, you got that T-shirt wrinkling up underneath your arm and stuff. But he's definitely got some great materials that he uses. Some Blueprint tees.
Yeah.
So I get him. I slap him my logo, and then once I send him my logo, he tweaks it a little bit to see which one's going to look best on shirts and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then go ahead and send me the final project.
Nice. Do you feel like branding is a big part in any creator's world?
In my own brain, that's just yes, because most people buy billboards, most people buy commercials and everything like that. We're running around the city trying to find doggone locations and stuff to shoot at. Why not have your logo on your shirt so you can be able to have people look at you and be like, oh, who's that or what's that? And then them look it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think if you want to kind of take yourself to the next level in terms of anything you want to do, you want people to know you from, a specific thing. Like, a lot of people, especially like athletes who are, become big stars, they're not just, this athlete, they have a brand. Like LeBron James, he has a brand behind him that people know him from. Like branding is a big thing now to where like people want to create their own brands versus just being a part of just this or that. They want to be their own entity, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, like the way I like to look at it is it's like I can buy a $60 Swiss shirt or a $60, $70 striped shirt and then represent someone else or like be an ad for someone else or whatnot, promote their stuff. Or I could spend $30, $40 on my name, something that like I'm standing for right now, that I stand next to and that I support and co-sign. And so have my own free advertisement, send folks my way.
Yep. Very smart. So kind of touching back on earlier when you said that you used to watch a lot of movies, and especially growing up, you can just watch all these B-list movies, but you just always had movies watched. Could you give us a top 5 of movies that are most, I guess, you could either do your favorite top 5 movies or most, I guess you can say, influential for you that have, made an impact on your life?
Oh, man. You
on the spot.
You put me on the spot, so you might have to do like a little timer ticking while I figure this one out.
You got to take your time. I can give you kind of some of the movies that I've done a list recently of the top 5. Let's see, of my top 10. Well, I did a top 10 on the previous episode. So I could go ahead and give you a couple. It kind of gives you some time to kind of figure it out. Okay. So for me, so some of the top my most I guess I can't even say the word because I'm teetering in and out. Influential movies that are really kind of affected me. Definitely the Rush Hour series.
Ooh.
Which was just like, you sent me the snap of this like today. Was it today or yesterday?
I just watched it yesterday.
Okay, yeah. So yesterday, yeah. And so it's like that series is just. I mean, I just remember it so vividly as I was a child, but yeah, I guess about the first ones came out around the late '90s, mid '90s, or whatever. And so that was just kind of, I think, has an identity with me, especially in my household. Like, we love those movies, so we watched them and we joked from them. Like, we'll use those movies and quote them, which I think, and it's, I mean, I probably still quote that movie probably to this day.
Yeah.
Another movie I have, Cars, which I really love Cars. I think Cars series is definitely probably the greatest series of all time, but that's just my opinion. So 50 First Dates, the greatest rom-com movie of all time. Adam Sandler and why am I blanking her name? Oh my God, she plays in oh my goodness, hold on, what is her name? What is her name? SpongeBob?
Top five. Ooh. There are so many that could be on this list.
Drew Barrymore.
Wow.
So, I mean, I love that movie. It's just like a feel-good movie. You can watch anytime, especially if you're trying to, Netflix and chill with somebody. Highly. Blue Streak and National Security, 2 movies by Martin Lawrence, which I really enjoyed.
You did top.
Huh?
I said you did top 10. I would definitely make it on my top 10 list.
Yeah, I mean, these movies are just like, I mean, Martin Lawrence is one of the greatest comedians. I'm rewatching Martin lately because I've been able to find it. They'll be able to watch it consistently without having to do it illegally. So I found a legal way to watch it, and I just been rewatching it. Just
he's definitely like a gem in like the industry of doggone, just like comedy, acting, just like he's one of the greats, definitely.
Yeah, and sometimes you gotta remind yourself how good he is. Like, he did take a bit of a hiatus since before the latest Bad Boys came out, but like, you really gotta remind yourself sometimes if he's been out of the spotlight or if you haven't watched, rewatched Martin like crazy. You know what I'm saying?
That's just like, I just feel like he was underrated. Like, rather than him like taking a hiatus or whatever, I think it was definitely like he was underrated. It's like between Martin and another person I feel like's underrated is Don Cheadle. It's like it's like you get like these underrated actors and stuff that like they'll pop up every now and then, but it was just like I want to see them in more movies type deal.
Right. Yeah. Especially with Don Cheadle. I mean, it's not a movie, but that music video he did with DNA with Kendrick, he like had to learn the whole song in like 48 hours, which was like.
Listen, Don Cheadle definitely like slept on as far as an actor. It's like, and then whenever he was in Oceans, that was hilarious. I got my top 5.
You got it?
Yes.
All right, cool. My fill time is over. Now it's up to you. You're up to bat. So, however you want to start, from 5 or for 1. Oh, look at you.
So we got Enemy of the State, Will Smith. We got Pursuit of Happiness. I'm not sure if I spelled it right, so I called myself out on that. But we got Toy Story, 1 and 2. We got Away, and then we got a throwback is The Faculty.
Oh, I don't think I've heard of The Faculty.
The Faculty had Usher in it, and dang, I can't remember the other guy's name. Was it's like in the 90s? He was like all the girls like loved him and stuff like that. Dang, he played on movies and then he just like disappeared after a while. Ethan Hawke? No, it wasn't Ethan Hawke. It was Hartnett, Josh Hartnett or something like that. Something like that. But The Faculty was a good movie. It was basically like aliens came.
Josh Hartnett, yeah.
There we go. aliens came to take over, and then like they was taking over the school by like jumping into like different people's bodies and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
You had this like drug dealer. He was the person that was supposed to save the day because he knew what to use, which I'm pretty sure is coke, to kill the alien. But it was a cool movie. It had like young Usher in it, and he was like the DJ at the faculty at the high school. I don't even know if it was a high school or college. Now that I think about it, movies kind of like blur lines real good to where you ask questions all the way like 15 years later.
Yeah, you like realize like those kids did not look like they were in high school whatsoever.
Thank you.
Especially, we got to say this, but like as much as I love it, All American is a great TV show, but them kids look 30. They look hard 30.
No, what was his best friend that he was wanting to bring her into rapping?
Oh, Moose, not Moose, Cooch? No.
Not Cooch.
It was something. Hold on.
Coach.
Coat? What?
I don't think it was Coach. What was her name? I mean, we love the series. We just don't remember the people's name.
Yeah, I mean, I binge it. Like every time I watch it, like I just binge it nonstop.
No, I knew that one. Have you ever seen Enemy of the State?
With that, yeah, with
Smith?
Will Smith.
So, whenever I watched that, it's like, remember when he goes into when he's being chased through the hotel, and then he goes into the janitor's closet and sets the thing on fire. To get the guys were chasing him into the closet, so he locked himself in the closet and set the fire. As soon as he set the fire trucks was pulling up. I was like, in what world?
So that's super quick.
But when you get so caught up into the action of the film, like you don't think about all that stuff. And then I've done seen the movie so many times where now I'm just like dissecting it.
Yeah.
As soon as he waves it and gets the fire going, like fire trucks cutting through the streets, I was like, ow.
Yeah. Coop is the name.
That's what I said.
Oh, I bet. I said that too.
Yeah, that's what he said. Look, you're gonna go back to where we were talking, and when both of us said it, we both said Coop. We're gonna do like a voiceover insert.
Coop.
Coop. It's gonna be like watching the movies on BET where they censor it. Hey, now take a picture. I don't give a fluke.
Yeah. It's weird. It's just weird how they. I mean, I get it for the streaming, but it's just weird watching movies on cable television. I think I was recently watching. What did I watch recently? Beverly Hills Cop with Eddie Murphy.
Oh, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, who's definitely. I've been watching some old Eddie Murphy movies, and it's just been so good.
Bro, it's just sad. Never mind. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
It's like I don't want actors to grow old, so it's just like now whenever you see them and stuff, you're like, man, you ain't as funny as you used to be. I think
he's making a comeback.
Huh?
I heard he's making a comeback.
Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. I mean,
whenever he was in I think it was like called 1,000 Words.
Oh, I saw that recently.
That movie was hilarious. It's like just the coffee scene alone. Like I could. He was just like when he was doing the coffee scene and the guy could not like guess like what coffee he wanted, and so he was like trying to let him know like 2 shots, and then he was like,
yeah.
I was like, have he died? Oh man, but yeah, I would never say anything like that about Dave Chappelle though.
Yeah, I mean, Dave Chappelle just keeps getting better with age, and
Dave Chappelle knows how to like feed his audience just enough.
Mm-hmm.
He keeps his content like live and well for like umpteen years and counting, so where he can come back, smoke a cigarette, and just say something else funny and be like, "They laugh. All right, I'm gonna stop right there. I'll see y'all in 20 more years."
True. Yeah, him. I mean, Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence are great. Will Smith. I mean, these guys are just. I mean, Will Smith definitely has been up all the times. I mean, he's staying young. You know, like especially now with him being so active. Excuse me, more active on on social media. I was gonna say interactive. Interactive. That's what I was gonna say. With social media, like TikTok and stuff like that. And I mean, he's like showing that youth. Like he doesn't, get old. Which is really cool.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, Uncle Will, staying busy.
Speaking of Uncle Will, who had a really good music career, let's transition over to music of the week. Boom.
Oh man!
So, music of the week is definitely the hit segment on the show. We kind of dive into what the guest and what I've been listening to during this specific week. What we've been feeling, what's the vibes been like, So I have to ask you, Tim, what are you listening to? What is your song of the week? Or songs? You can do multiple as well.
I'm gonna stick to one because when you give people too many, it's just like overwhelming. So this week specifically, I actually dove back into the was it the cassette tapes and stuff. It was just like throwing it back to Wyclef Jean and Beyonce. It's whenever she was still with Destiny's Child, but the No 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 song.
Okay.
That definitely is just like it's something that's just like one of those songs that you just remember when you were younger hearing it, and then you still get hyped hearing it to today. So that was definitely my hype for this week. I don't know how many no's was in the title, but I know it's definitely like 2 or 6. No, 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 no. There we go. Wyclef Jean and Destiny's Child.
Let's see. Is it Wyclef Jean's song or is it Destiny's Child's song?
Want to say it's Destiny's Child featuring Wyclef Jean. He probably just went by Wyclef then. Let me see. What other? You got it?
Hold on. Almost there.
It just has that vibe to it, to where it's just like so chill.
Okay, I got it. Cool. Added it.
And then you know what? I lied. I would add a second one.
Okay.
Ready or Not, Lauryn Hill. Well, another Wyclef shot, another Wyclef song too. That one is just like, I don't know. That's a video that like whenever I told you I used to record music videos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that music video takes place in a submarine. I recorded that video like 50 times on VHS whenever I was making my. I was making like mixtapes before mixtapes was a thing. I was doing it with VHS. Everybody else was doing it with the cassettes. I was doing that with VHS. $5, I make a video for you. Sheesh.
You said it's Ready or Not by Lauryn Hill?
It's
like Ready or Not, here I come.
Was it Refugees or the Fugees? It was the whatever their group was called.
Oh, Fugees,
yeah, they're Fugees.
Okay.
Fugees.
Well, you kicking it old school. I like it.
Oh, it's just like I gotta humble myself because like I'll get so hyped off of like music, but then like some days like whenever you drive and you want to hear something that just like you can just chill to and just like remember old stuff, and that's what that does. That reminds me of like the North Carolina days, Jacksonville. Just like whenever we're moving around a lot too.
Okay. All right, so you got the old school vibe for the song of the week. Okay. And now I feel like I gotta match your energy, you know?
Yeah, let me see what you're working with.
Let's see. I don't know. Now I feel like I'm on the spot.
You know what? I'm gonna take you off the spot right quick. I'm gonna tell you about the snack of the week.
Oh, a snack of the whoa, bonus segment.
Bruh, hey, I have like it's like the snacks. It's like the stuff that you like leave on the back burner. It's almost like one of those snacks that you don't go to, like the peanut butter and jelly. You would never want a peanut butter and jelly, and you would never consider it unless somebody made you a peanut butter and jelly, and then you like, yeah, I'll finish that. I'm gonna finish this. With the Butterfinger bites, bruh. Butterfinger bites and put it in the freezer. So you
like
don't,
Nutter Butters?
no, like I don't think Reese's makes Butterfinger, but it's the yellow pack, the Butterfingers.
Oh.
Oh, you gotta check them out if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't Nutter Butterfingers are like they're alright. They're like in the snack category, they're not that high up for me. Butterfingers are alright.
All right, so what's your snack on there?
Shoot, if I like the Nutter, like I like a Nutter Butters. Not Nutter Butter. What is those like those like you know those like wafers like dipped in chocolate type things, but they're like long sticks. Pause.
He said, let me pause this right quick.
I can't remember the name of them. They come like little.
Hey, pause your face like after you say it. I know what you're talking about. So the Nutter Butters are just like that too. But I know you're not talking about the Take 5. Or no, Take 5.
No, not the Take 5.
It's not the Heath bars.
Mm-mm.
Dang. Because I know what you're. No, what you're talking about. Butterfinger makes that.
Is that Butterfingers?
They make that, but I like the Butterfinger. I know what you're talking about.
I mean, there's nothing that beats out of Twix. Like hands down, Twix is probably my favorite candy bar. Number 2 maybe is a Snickers.
Man, hey, I know you meant that shit. Snickers. Hey, he tapped into his Steve Smith Sr. with that one, Snickers.
So I mean that's something I enjoy. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the name of it. I recently had those little Nutter Butters that look like peanuts, like in like the little bite. I mean, like in like little small bags. Those are really good.
Yeah. Nah, I think the thing that you're talking about though, the wafers, I think that's definitely made by the Butterfinger brand too.
Yeah, it's gonna.
Butterfinger's definitely in like a yellow packet, so it's hard to miss.
Yeah, because I know they always had like this. I remember like always getting to be like a see-through, and then like the chocolate would always melt onto the plastic by the time you open it. So you breaking it open to. So it's not a Kit Kat, but it's like.
No, I think it is the you are talking about the Nutter Butter bars.
Is that?
Yeah, that's not with the clear wrapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Nutter Butter bars.
Okay.
But Butterfinger also made their version of it too, and I recommend you check that one out. Yeah, check them out.
Yeah, I'll slide in through the snack aisle. I don't eat candy like that often now, but when I do, I'll check it out.
When I do damage.
I steal a little kid's candy sack and I go to town.
I slide down that Wawa shopping center like, what's up? Buy everything at the checkout line. You were looking for a song?
Yeah, I got it now.
All right, bet.
So I'm gonna go Marvin Gaye.
Ooh.
I heard it through the grapevine. This is just a good feeling song. I got my smooth peanut butter. I call it my smooth peanut butter playlist on Spotify, to where I just kind of old school hits, vibes. Luckily, if there's no lady around, it can double as my baby making playlist. But yeah, I think that's the vibe. Since we're going old school this week, I'm gonna do that song, and then let's also do.
You got to think about this next one. Don't rush the next song.
No, I got this one already because
I think it's true.
It's almost that time of the year, and it's my birthday month coming up. So September by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Jeez.
By the time this airs, it should be right there. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's going to hit different. This episode and this part of Music of the Week is just going to hit different when September goes.
He's like, we got to play this one back.
Exactly. So there you go. Yeah, man, this is awesome. This is a great talk.
Yes, sir.
We covered a little bit of everything. We went into the early bring-ins of Tim. We kind of got you starting into film and into tag film and talk about some of your movies, some music that you're listening to right now. Shoot, we pretty much covered the gamut of everything.
Yes, indeed.
Anything that you feel like we left out that you want to talk about?
I want to say hi to you, Mama. No, I feel like we got everything actually.
Yeah. Okay.
That's pretty smooth. You did a good segue into the conversations, and then like had them moving into each other. I like that.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that.
No rush either. That was definitely cool because I definitely was just like maybe I should ask him what questions he's going to ask me, but I didn't want to worry about that because it's usually fun whenever you catch people off guard with the questions and actually make them think rather than before you get the question out, I already answered it.
Right.
So you got a good situation going on with that one.
Yeah, keep you on your toes, keep moving.
That's indeedy.
So I guess before we go, let's plug your social medias. Anything you want to talk about that's coming out or whatever you got. This is the time and you have the floor to go ahead and let the world know where you're at, and how to find you.
Again, I want to shout out to Blueprint Tees. You can get them. They got an IG page, Blueprint BLUPR. How you spell print? PRNT, no I. Okay, go ahead and add them on IG, and go ahead and just check out his work. He does shoes now. Like if you want your shoes done like different colors and all that. I'm not all about that because I destroy shoes. So good luck with that one. Got the IG page. It's Tagged Film Media, and you're just gonna see this logo on the front page of it. Check out some of my content. It's a little bit of content right now because I'm just starting to like revamp everything, and then we're gonna put out more content. As of this week, we just finished up a rap video for like a local artist to DC, and I want you guys to check it out. And if you like it, just share it. G Nice, the owner, the artist, local DC, and so you're gonna see more work coming soon.
Yeah, I can say I got a sneak peek of just a couple of the clips that you guys shot, and Chef Kiss, it looks really great. I can't wait to see the final finished product of everything. Definitely, you guys check that out. Check him out. Man, this is a great talk with one of my brothers from, which is crazy, which we didn't even get into the story, but like we kind of grew up in the same places, but just at different times. And and then we finally, connected in Maryland. And then ever since then, it's just been light years of speed. We've both been working, to get ourselves up and to keep growing and to do our thing. So
you got to be more specific with that one. So what Charles means by that is we both grew up in Charleston, South Carolina.
Yep.
Had basically the same rounds that we hung out. And then whenever we met, it was in Waldorf, Maryland, community college, film production. And we both started basically talking about, we got linked up for a project in one of our classes. And then he said something about South Carolina. And then I said something about South Carolina. And then we started putting it together, and we was like right down the street from each other the whole time. So the fact that we met up like 8+ hours up the road in Maryland and start collabing on projects since then, we was just like, man, this definitely is meant to be for us to put some projects together and like start this film stuff off. So we're definitely going to put out some more content in the future also. Charles and Tagged Film, CJ Creative Box. Definitely got some more coming.
Oh, a lot more coming. We're just scratching the surface. Like, and you know, I was kind of talking about this before. Like, yo, we're still young. Well, I'm still young. No, but we're both still young people, and we're young in our definitely young in our filmmaking careers. You know, especially compared to when you see Steven Spielberg still making movies, and he's like 60 something, 70 years old. You know, and like we're just scratching the surface of really what we can do and what we know what we want to do. And I'm super excited to see what the future holds for us. We're just gonna keep grinding. Like that's the only thing that we know to do is to grind, to keep working and keep putting out, great stuff for you guys.
It's not a creative.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So thank you again, Tim. Thank you for your time, first and foremost. Thank you for just, being here, spilling your story. I'm glad we got to link up to do this podcast and be able to really, just tell your story, promote, tag, film, and for us just to have a good time on camera. We always do it. We're always talking every day. So
exactly. We need to those conversations. The stuff that people need to write down in a notebook.
Mm-hmm.
Those conversations get real.
They do.
Yeah, for opportunity too. It was definitely fun.
Right, I'm glad to hear it.
All right, Brody.
Well, that's a wrap for this episode, guys. Thank you again for listening. This has been the quest to 100 episodes. We keep moving each and every single week. I've been CJT, I've been CJ. This isn't Tim. Thank you for listening to Inside the Box. And like always and forever, keep it creative.
Hey.